Hey everyone, and welcome. So you're on the hunt for a new TV stand and you've landed in exactly the right spot. Today, we're going to go through the ultimate buyer's guide. We're going to take what can be a really tricky decision and make it super simple and clear.
I know what you're thinking. It's just a TV stand. How hard can it be? And you know what? It seems simple, but there's actually a little more to it than just picking something that looks cool. But don't you worry, that's what we're here for. We're going to break it all down for you.
And look, the advice we're sharing today isn't just some theory we cooked up. It's based on more than a decade of real-world experience. This is wisdom from seeing what actually lasts in people's homes, what falls apart after a year, and which pieces really, truly give you your money's worth.
So here's our game plan. We'll start by looking at the different types of furniture out there. Then, we'll get into the super important golden rule of sizing. After that, we'll talk style and materials, point out some common mistakes to sidestep, and finally, wrap up with how to make a really smart investment for your home.
All right, let's kick things off with the big picture. Actually choosing your stand. Our goal here is to give you all the info you need so that when you're shopping, you feel totally confident, like you know exactly what you're looking for. So first things first, let's decode some of the lingo. You're going to see terms thrown around like media console, fireplace unit, floating mount. What does all that even mean? Getting a handle on these main categories is step one to narrowing down your options.
Okay, the media console. This is the classic, the go-to, the absolute workhorse of the living room. It's all about practical storage. The things you really want to look for are adjustable shelves so your stuff actually fits, good ventilation so your game console doesn't overheat, and those all-important cutouts in the back for cable management. Next up, the fireplace unit. These have become so popular, and for good reason. They pull double duty. They hold your TV, but they also create this amazing, cozy vibe. Plus, a lot of them give off actual heat, enough to warm up a pretty big room, like 400 to 500 square feet. It's the best of both worlds, really. And for anyone who loves that clean, modern look, you've got the floating mount. It makes your whole setup look like it's, well, floating. It's great for saving floor space. But listen, this is really important. This is not a DIY project. It absolutely has to be professionally installed and secured into the wall studs. Safety is everything here. All right, let's talk about maybe the single biggest thing people get wrong, sizing. This is the secret sauce to making your whole TV area look polished and put together, not like an afterthought.
It really just comes down to one word: proportion. You know when you see a huge TV teetering on a tiny little stand, it just looks off, unstable. And on the flip side, a massive console can completely swallow a smaller TV. The goal is to find that perfect visual balance. And luckily, there's a simple formula for this. This chart is your cheat sheet. Basically, you want a console that's a little bit wider than your TV. So if you've got a 65-inch screen, you're looking for something in that 60 to 70-inch range. It creates this nice, stable visual anchor.
So if you only remember one thing from this whole guide, let it be this. You want your TV stand to be about 10 to 15 inches wider than your TV itself. That little bit of extra space on each side is what makes it look balanced and intentional. That's the magic number.
Okay, so you've got the size figured out. Awesome. Now let's get into the fun stuff, style and materials. This is what determines whether you're buying a piece for a couple of years or for the next decade.
So the big showdown is usually between solid wood and engineered wood. Solid wood is the real deal. It's super durable, it lasts forever, and it's just a fantastic long-term value. Engineered wood, on the other hand, is made by combining wood fibers with adhesives. It's a great, cost-effective option and can still be a really solid choice if you're on a budget.
But beyond the wood type, you gotta look at the little things. I'm talking about the details. Do the shelves adjust? Do you have a mix of open shelves for your cool stuff and closed doors to hide the mess? Do the drawers slide open without a fight? Does it have a smart way to hide cables? These are the features that make your life easier every single day.
All right, time for some insider intel. After you've seen thousands of people buy furniture, you start to see the same mistakes pop up again and again. So think of this section as your guide to avoiding buyer's remorse.
Okay, here's your quick checklist of don'ts. Number 1, buying a stand that's too small. We covered that. 2, ignoring the weight capacity. TVs are heavy, so check the specs. 3, forgetting about your room's layout. You still need to be able to walk around it. 4, no ventilation. Your electronics get hot and they need to breathe. And the biggest one of all, going for cheap over well-made. A bargain that breaks in a year isn't a bargain at all.
And that idea leads us perfectly into our last topic,
thinking about this purchase not just as a thing you're buying, but as a smart investment in your home.
This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? It is so tempting to just grab the cheapest thing you can find, but that stuff often falls apart so fast. Investing just a bit more in a piece with solid bones pays you back over and over again in durability and just the satisfaction of owning something good.
So I'll leave you with this one final question to think about as you're making your choice. Ask yourself, am I buying a temporary fix for right now, or am I investing in a quality piece that's going to be a part of my home for the next 10 years? Your answer to that question is going to lead you to the perfect decision.